Welcome, welcome, welcome. Well, not welcome because the stream's just started, but we're back with more Chemtech games, I believe. And today's game looks to be Crystal Scar versus Targon. It might be echoing. I have to mute this tab. Perfect. Okay. I'm not sure what they're quite waiting on for draft, but I'm sure it will start soon. I suppose I'll take a second to look up the teams. We saw Targon here last time that I was casting, so we're a little bit familiar with them. We've seen them a couple times. You know, Manny has been known to play the game. I don't believe they normally have Colonel combo though. If I'm correct, is Colonel combo on the other team? Oh, he is. He's on Crystal Scar. I've never seen Crystal Scar play. And they do have Grant, who I think was in the same team as me last time, which is kind of strange. But does that mean everyone's here? I think so. Let's see, anyone I don't recognize here? I'm still waiting on draft. I'm not. So my chat's been broken the whole time. So I don't know when we're drafting, but hopefully it's soon. We are 6 minutes over time, so the mods might come any second now and start beating people. Show 'em who's boss. Here, let's do some. I'm gonna do some lol while I wait. Is my internet okay? What the fuck is happening? Did draft start? Oh, it just started. Okay, perfect. I must have missed it. Let's see. We have a Nocturne ban from the side of Targon. I do know that Grant has been getting a lot of success with this character in solo queue, so it's not a particularly surprising ban. Pondexus is basically a Yasuo one trick, so the Yasuo ban makes sense. Vladimir, a little bit less surprising.
Turns 30 and gets dementia. It's kind of crazy. She turned 30 last week. Did you guys?
Thanks, dear. I'm not sure about the Vladimir ban. As for the Crystal Scar bans, Silkai, I think, is like a Nefiri one trick, so that would explain the Nefiri ban. Beyond that, I don't think they have many people who play like Zac or Mel, so these could be comp bans. Like perhaps they just don't want to play against these things, and I can understand. Vladimir, Zac, Mel, all very annoying champions. We've fallen into the classic blunder of picking Shyvana without banning Sylas. So if anyone on Targon's side plays Sylas, it's like low key a free win. Does anyone play Sylas? Sylas? They could be picking it because they know they don't have a Sylas player. That would be pretty big brain. But it's not exactly hard. I mean, this is already low key a Thanos Sylas game, though. Leona ult and Shyvana ults, both amazing for Sylas to be taking. Sylas now. Kaisa Milio is an interesting combination. I don't believe Kaisa has a lot of synergy with Milio in the first place. Like, despite being a hyper carry, Kaisa tends to prefer having her own, like, melee engage support to help her with her passive application. Milio doesn't really do that, and Kaisa doesn't make a ton of use of the extra range that Milio gives her. Xerath, very good into Kaisa, also pretty good into Wukong. I'm quite liking Crystal Scar's draft so far. I would love to see a Sylas ban. I think that Sylas here flexes top,
I
mid,
disagree.
and jungle.
I got a parking lot for you.
And even if you don't really, I know that nobody on Targon plays it, but it's just such a potent pick that I think it's worth banning
Someone
anyway.
my card parked right now.
The Mundo ban surprises me because even though Mundo is relatively effective against like Crystal Scar's current team to some extent, they have R5 and Mundo is not a very good blind pick character. It's like super vulnerable to things like Fiora or Gwen who just kind of roll it. So Mundo ban's a bit weird, and on top of that, I'm not even sure anyone on Targon is even really a Mundo player. Jax is also very weird, because Jax is also a pretty bad blind pick. I don't think anyone on Targon plays Jax either.
Got me. Got me. I'm terrified. I can't wait with my action. Actually, I'm excited. With Majin, no, there's no content.
Yeah, I just can't see a world where you ban, like, Mundo and this stuff. Yorick is a good ban. I know that Fudge Cow has been playing some Yorick
The
recently,
biggest
so it is
consequence
believable.
with Majin is that
But
he
they could be
doesn't
banning
heal.
that.
To be honest,
Urgot is also one of his top two, so they've just leveraged two bans onto Fudge Cow, who should be on in like a not comfort pick now. I'm pretty sure Fudge Cow is the top laner here. We see a blind pick Ornn, very solid blind pick. It looks like they're saving the Xerath for a flex to either ADC or mid. Honestly, I think Crystal Scar is drafted relatively well. I still think Targon should just slam a Sylas here, and you can flex the Sylas to either like mid or top. Wukong can also flex between top and jungle. I swear Sylas is just so. Ari, okay. Ari, always a pretty solid character, pairs super nicely with the Wukong. I don't know why we don't see the Ari, but it is there. Let's see what their last pick is going to be. Trundle. Trundle is a pretty potent character into tanks. Like, it's not bad into Ornn. It's not, like, unplayable for Ornn, I'm pretty sure.
I got first game, so I'll see you guys tomorrow.
I really am curious what Crystal Scar has for their last pick here. I feel like they should pick a conventional ADC, simply because if they pick like Mage, they're gonna have very little physical damage other than Shyvana, though you might not care. It looks like they will be going for double Mage.
She had no rights here.
Targon's team doesn't have a lot of tanks, so the fact that Crystal Scar is pretty AP heavy shouldn't be a huge deal for them. Yeah, and that looks like the end of the draft. I imagine we'll be in game here very, very shortly. I think that if our previous. I've never seen a Crystal Scar game, but I have seen a number of Targon games now, and I think that Targon's games tend to hitch on their top laner in the sense that in most games that Targon loses, their top laner tends to fall like extremely behind. Manny seems to be a little bit of a feast or famine kind of player, and he's been famining a decent amount recently. Of course, he is in a pretty stable matchup, right? Like Trundle into Volibear, or not Trundle into Volibear. Trundle into Ornn is like not a volatile matchup. Like even if Trundle gets a bit behind, he should still beat the Ornn. So with Trundle being strong, I feel like Targon has like a really solid chance of winning this game. Ari is also really potent into both Zareth and Victor. She can make it out of lane. Both of those are bad lanes for Ari. So I think that Targon has all the tools they need to succeed. They just have to make sure they execute it properly. I will say that Crystal Scar seems to have the more cohesive team comp here. Right, like Shyvana's kind of a diver, but she's also pretty potent. She's also pretty potent as like a peeler, right? Because you can use her ult for CC to counter a dive. Xerath and Victor, a lot of poke, they have a lot of lockdown, they have engage, they have wave clear. The Crystal Scar draft can kind of adapt and do whatever it needs to. The only thing it can't really do is dive, but they have enough poke to, I think, make up for it, and they have engage, so it's not the worst. On the other hand, Targon's draft is a lot more all over the place. Like Wukong, Kaisa are both just kind of divers. Ari can kind of flex between diver and then kind of playing neutral, but they essentially have like three divers, a split pusher, and then Milio is just a bit homeless. Milio is just not very good in this game at all. I don't really know what Milio's going to do here. Like Milio can cleanse like a Leona ult, but the problem with Milio into Leona is unless you hit the soccer ball on her E, she just chain CCs, and because all of her CCs are short and she just has a lot of them, even if you cleanse one, it doesn't necessarily stop the next one from hitting, and Milio doesn't maintain tenacity or anything, so he kind of runs into an issue there. Milio also, like, the soccer ball can't stop Shyvana engage, and kind of heal her a little bit, and, like, he has shield and move speed, so, like, he's not super homeless, but Milio's really bad against divers. He's more of a peeler, or with divers, he's more of a peeling champ. So overall, I'd say that not knowing anything about Crystal Scar, I would still give them the edge coming out of draft, at the very least. We'll have to see if the Chemtech effect takes place, and if my predictions are even remotely correct. While we wait for the game to actually start, I'm gonna do some mobile. Rek'Sai matches nothing, so it's a male, non-jungler, non-void, non-rage character who is ranged. and released before 2014. Draven. Ah. Okay, it is a male ranged character released before Draven, but is not human. Teemo. I could see it being Teemo. Let's try Teemo. It is not Teemo. It is a male Yordle, so I guess it just has to be Veigar. Yeah, it's Veigar. Let's go. Get next. The blood you spilled calls to me. That's probably Warwick, right? Yeah. That is Zinzao passive. What the fuck is this? What is the C? Is it like Silas? Why is there a copyright symbol? Like, what does that have to do with Silas at all? Like, am I missing something? Why is Silas copyrighted? Oh, that's a disgusting emoji. That's a terrible hint. Oh, who is this? Is this like Gragas or something? Wait, who is this? This is Udyr? No, his arms are so short though. I swear it can't be Lee. I kind of want us to get this on first try. I don't know what this is. Oh! Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's fucking, it's White Lucian. Bro, there's no way, man. Yeah, it's messed up, man. Don't let anything distract you from the fact that when Lucian first released, he was the first black champion, and his release skin made him white. We're loading in. Team comps are about what we expected. Nothing particularly new happening. We just fast forward a bit live. So Ari and the Victor is generally like a very rough matchup for Ari if the Victor knows what they're doing. If he's smart, he has bone plating, it's really good. He just kind of just trades into her with Qs and Ari can never really win the trades. This is really good trading from the Richter. If you're playing Ari, you just kind of have to play to conserve your HP. You cheat a recall on like 4th wave, and I find that tends to be good enough. Unfortunately, Cthulhu is forced to flash really early, which is not amazing. It looks like mid will be suffering for most of this game. Poor Katie. Poor Katie. Kaisa in a little bit of trouble here, gonna take a lot of damage to get stunned up by the Leona. Gets stunned one more time, Colonel Combo may actually look for the kill, Kaisa forced to flash, but has to dodge the Xerath Q. Goes wide, and Colonel Combo not quite able to get this. Roxo stunned next though, Colonel Combo might actually be able to finish this off with an auto attack. Yeah, Targon immediately getting put on the back foot by this game. It's just so difficult for Kaisa to play in these lanes if she's outranged, and it's so difficult for Ari to play against Victor early. Cthulhu forced to recall a little bit early, so we see she gets her Dark Seal, but she does not get her refillable pot. So we can probably expect mid to be really, really rough for the next like 5 minutes because she's not gonna have any sustain to force a recall with, and she doesn't have TP to get out of any bad lane situation. She probably actually just wants to shove this, I'd say, and just see if she can get her hands on that refillable pot, but she's slow pushing it, and Victor's probably just gonna catch her on the next wave, so pretty doomed over there. Colonel combo picking up his double amp tome. All good, all good. Little scuttle crab trade happening. Leona's here looking for a gank in mid. Cthulhu has no flash. Doesn't land the charm. Gets stunned up. Gravity Well is down. Stuns Cthulhu one more time. And I think she just might be dead. Victor picks up the kill. That is a really, really rough start. Leona's going to take a little bit of damage, but there's just nothing they can really do here. Because Katie just kind of gets blasted in mid, and now Victor is going to be accelerated on his stacks. There's never really what you want to see. Once he gets that upgraded E, it becomes even harder for Ari to play the game. And we can see he's already at 57 stacks, and he only needs like 100, so he's halfway there. Not amazing, not amazing.
The fruits of patience.
Shyvana also opted for a Sheen purchase. If there are any Shyvana players out there, I'm like 99% convinced that Sheen is just a low value item on Shyvana, especially as their first item. You're better off just getting Hearthbound Axe or something. Because even though Shyvana has a lot of auto resets, she autos pretty quickly, and so the Sheen's not all that valuable. Fudge Cow just gets solo killed. Bit of a rough lane top, it looks like. Manny, kind of his team's saving grace in this game. Laser from the Victor. Laser, yeah. Cue her now. Cue her. Push her off the wave. Good, good. Walk up again. Laser. Laser. Laser now. Just walk up and laser. Walk up and laser! Laser! Okay, there we go. Now walk up again. You have Q and bone plating. She can't touch you. Walk up Q. Walk up Q. Walk up Q. Laser. Laser again. Laser. Laser. Okay, Q. Whatever. Enough watching that. Now Wukong is here. Kind of squished, but Leona misses E, so it doesn't really matter. Graham pops the Shyvana ult with the fear. Roxo manages to dodge out of the stun, but it doesn't really matter. Just simply gets one-shotted. Victor going to eat a charm. Atomic Ghost is here, but Cthulhu is completely and Atomic Ghost doesn't even have level 6. He tries to fake him out with the clone. Forced to flash anyway in the end, though. Doesn't quite have enough. It's a bit of a disaster here for Targon, because their team does get outscaled, and they are not winning where they need to win. With like Wukong Ari, you really need to like accelerate the game once you start hitting that level 6. Pondexus is probably just like, I swear he can just dog walk. He's like walk under tower and kill her, no? Just walk under tower. Eat the charm. If she has it, okay. She has no. She forced to flash away. That's. Fudge Cow misses the ult. But mid is getting cooked. Bot lane's managed to stabilize a little bit since that first death, but there needs to be some desperate adjustments in mid if KD wants to survive this one. You know, if you E Trundle's pillar as Ornn, it actually destroys it. I don't know if the slow field stays, but the pillar dies at least.
They will go no further.
It looks like Wukong's going to be looking for this dragon, but Grant is here, has the ultimate. Leona and Milio are both here as well. Both junglers are level 6, so there could be a potential fight here. Manny is pretty strong compared to the Ornn, who is very low on health and also doesn't have ult, so potential 4v3, 4v4. Will Crystal Scar take it? It looks like they really want to take this fight, but they are in a pretty bad spot if they do take it. Victor has very, very little mana to play with, and Ornn can't really participate. If I was Targon, I would just do it. Like, you can just take it in their faces, no? They're down, like, basically 2 players. Does it look like Crystal Scar will contest, and Targon... Actually, maybe they will. Shyvana is walking up, but Milio is there. Victor has no mana. Shyvana ulting in, but Trundle is here. She's stuck at a 1v3, has flash, might just have to try to run, but has to flash out. Might die anyway. Dies to the soccer ball. Now Pondax is in a bit of trouble. Cthulhu onto him with the charm, on him with the ult. He might not be long. He flashes, but what else can he do? He's just going to die to the auto attack. A bit greedy for those grubs. Yeah, taking the grubs fight without your top laner with no mana on mid. A bit of a disaster. Grant opting for all of the Triforce components besides the best one for his champion, which is a little bit sad. That's okay.
Try another hiding spot.
I don't know what Grant... I don't know if he's watching a movie, he's doing something else.
How about some foul play?
If Grant's watching a movie, I wouldn't know. After that most recent fight though, the game seems to have largely stabilized. Yeah, Grant's choice to fight for those grubs was pretty questionable, because he didn't fight in the beginning, and he chose to fight later after the entire enemy team was in position again. Overall, a pretty questionable decision, but it is Chemtech. We're not here, we're not Challenger. We don't have to play it perfectly. Both teams have made mistakes here and there, you know, and that's what keeps it interesting. Milio going to get stunned up. Bone plating Pop taking a lot of damage. Pop's able to try to get away. Xerath ult. Looking for damage. Misses basically every single one. Probably wouldn't have killed even if they all hit. I will admit, Hemi Neutron, this game is pretty boring. Turtle here might be in a bit of trouble. Knocked up by the Cyclone. Has a second one incoming, but they don't do any damage. Silcal dives on in with the Kaisa ultimate, but Colonel Combo does a pretty decent amount of damage. They do manage to take down the Leona. Atomic Ghost chasing on. Shyvana and Victor now are both here. Silcal going very, very low. Has to flash. Stun lands onto the stealth Wukong. Kaisa slowed. goes down to the Zareth. Wukong trying to get one back. The staff kills one. Pondaxis taking a lot of damage from Cthulhu, who's ults in, has one more ult charge to finish off the Victor. Does she have the damage? She does! She does! The Q barely finishes him off in the end. But she does go down to Grant Shyvana, who's quite strong with this Triforce. Katie finding herself a pretty decent set of plays there. Ideally, probably would have wished that she could get away, would not die. The second dragon is going here to Grant team, but can't really fault her. She gets a couple kills. It's all good. It's all good. Fudge Cow is eating a supreme amount of dookie. Manny looking to proxy, but Pondaxis is here to try to help. Manny gonna get hit by the slow, but might be able to just walk it. It looks like he's going to try to turn on to Pondaxis. I mean, the Fudge Cat doing a lot of damage, beats him down. Now he's going to try to run away from the Victor, who doesn't really have much to chase him with. The burn just might kill him, though. Ooh, he barely survives. He barely survives. Great play from Manny, honestly. Recognizing that turn opportunity, getting one back in the 1v2. That is what you want to see out of Manny. It's going to be one of his standout performances as to opposed to one of his lackluster ones. Cthulhu looks for a pick. Pondaxis taking a lot of damage very, very quickly. Atomic Ghost here as well, and the Victor, not long for the world, just gets kind of caught out in the jungle and blasted. A really great pick from Katie, recognizing how vulnerable that Victor was, and also the fact that her jungler was right in the area. Pounces on the opportunity, gets that one kill for her team. Wukong now actually pretty strong. 3-1. Not really up a lot of gold because Shaman is up quite a bit of CS, but a lead is better than nothing. Fudge Cow's dead here. Oh, he got his E interrupted as well. Yeah, he's good. Consumed by the Trundle. I would like to direct your attention to the fact... I would like to direct you to the fact that the Crystal Scar bot lane is up 40 CS. Ornn's E is supposed to break it, but the issue is his pillar actually interrupted Ornn during the wind-up of his E and not the actual dash. And so it didn't quite work. Ornn just ended up getting cancelled for that. Gold top lane's looking pretty doomed. He's up almost 3k. Is up 3.2k. Yeah, not looking good. Manny, very interesting top laner. We did see him like throw a game or two in his last series, but this series he's been really solid, honestly. Or at least in this game. Fudge Cow did eat 2 bans, so perhaps it's possible, right, that we're seeing kind of the impact of a limited champion pool in the Ornn. Victor going to hold for a wave, but I imagine this tower will go down at some point to Trundle. There's just no one that could really hold him, and Victor has to group. Cthulhu, if you're listening to this, Katie, just buy Sork shoes. Don't buy CDR boots if you're gonna go Maligma and Lichbane. It's just not worth it. Atomic Ghost here with the ultimate. Has Cyclone, but combo manages to get away. because the Crystal Scar top lane is losing so hard, I really feel like this game hitches on whether— oh my god, Fudge Cow, what the fuck was that? Comet Ghost gonna eat a stun, probably stun W over the wall and be fine. Manny though, here on a flank, Colonel combo very low on mana, might be forced to flash over this wall. Flashes to get away, but has no more mana. Grant flashing on Cthulhu, Katie might not. No, Grant just simply goes down in the backline. Atomic Ghost is also in the backline. Kaisa tries to dive Zareth, but dies instead. Now it's just Manny beating up the Ornn. Cthulhu has ult ticking still for now. Gets one more charge back. Could look for something onto this Colonel combo. Doesn't find anything. Charm goes wide, and it's a 2 for 3 in favor of Targon. Leona has R here to look for a pick, so I worry. Lilia goes down to try to save the R. He does save her as well. Victor is sidelining, but he's about to be caught in a 1v3. Probably want to leave soon, Victor. I don't think you want this smoke. Grant in that last fight kind of fell for one of the classic Shyvana blunders and dove too deep. Shyvana's one of those characters, if you go too deep, you do just kind of immediately die. So you have to be very, very careful with how you're playing the fights and when you're diving. Wukong's here, but he's just stunned. He's seen. Force W back over the wall, and I think that's probably going to be a third Drake to the side of Crystal Scar, unless Atomic Ghost somehow manages to find a steal. He is at range, does not quite get the steal. Colonel combo though, getting engaged on by Kaisa on the backline. Cthulhu beating up Fudge Cow, who's about to go down very, very shortly here. Turtle now, next on the chopping block, eats the charm, uses E to engage. Pondaxis pops the ult, but might just die now to Cthulhu, who gets quite a bit of damage off. Kaisa dives into the backline, tries to kill Colonel combo, manages to get him with a passive pop. Now real cool, Turtle's in a bit of trouble, it might just be a clean ace. If they can finish off the Leona, they do not, but it's a 4 for 1. Honestly, Targon's kind of going off this game. The Ornn is just really, really irrelevant, and I feel like they're not playing the fights quick enough to, or slow enough to win, right? The side of Crystal Scar, you really just kind of want to poke and prod, build an advantage, play the neutral game with the Victor, with the Zareth, because once you commit to that fight, those two champs are a lot weaker than Ahri and Kaisa. So you have to rely on that poke, and they're not taking the time to set up. They're kind of just rushing into the fights, and that's paying off dividends for Targon, who have been able to capitalize and really just turn these fights around and use that to be their way back into the game that was initially losing a little bit. Now Crystal Scar are starting to find themselves in a bit of like an unplayable situation. As their mid and bot lane fall behind, they're gonna have progressively more and more trouble holding space on objectives, because you don't have as much damage to threaten people from getting on you or getting on those flanks. So it's easier for Targon to just walk in, and Ornn, because he's already losing on the side, he has a lot of trouble matching the Trundle, so they're always going to have back foot on rotate, which is also not ideal. That being said, I think that Crystal Scar still very much has a win con here. All they have to do is play these objective fights nice and slow. Zareth ult pops to see if they can do a bit of damage. Probably does not. Might get caught here by Trundle. Nope, Trundle backs off. Charm barely misses Grant. Victor's here now, and it looks like it might be a 5v5 over the Dragon. I mean the Baron. Baron's getting very, very low though. Shyvana just gets one shot immediately by Cthulhu. who just does so much damage right now, and the Baron just goes down. It's looking just a little bit cooked for the side of Crystal Scar, unless they somehow manage to turn this fight around. Wukong is here though with the Cyclone, knocks up quite a few members. Pondexus goes down. Silkai also dies. Leona, not long for the world, and it's just Colonel Combo, but he eats the charm and he also dies. A 5-for-1 ace for Targon. And viewers, I think that Targon might have just done it. I think they just blew this game wide open in the faces of Crystal Scar. Crystal Scar with maybe a bit of an advantage early. Once it gets down to these team fights, they just kind of collapse. The Victor and the Zareth just are struggling so much to play these fights properly. It's honestly a little bit doomed. Thorn all goes wide again. Shyvana's here to help, but Manny is quite strong. Might actually die to the Zareth. Oh, before he gets one back, he's healing a lot. Does finally go down to the Shyvana. Zareth does land a stun. A huge chunk just one-shot Silkai. And Milia also has to flash out. Crystal Scar fighting back a little bit. Using the long-range pick power to get themselves 2 kills. Pondexus trying to take KT out, but KT just does so much damage, hits the charm and just one-shots him. Does take a lot of damage in return. Kinda ends up being a 1-for-1, both members forced out of the fight. This is Soul for the side of Crystal Scar, so they want this Drake very, very badly. Atomic is here though, but with the help of Ornn, they might just try to push him back or kill him. He's taking quite a bit of damage, but so is the Dragon. Dragon secured by Grant. They do have Ocean Soul now, and hopefully this fight will slowly begin to turn back into their favor. They are healing up, they just have to stall and do damage, but it looks like they just don't have enough space. They're just getting run over by the Trundle and the Ahri. Colonel Combo lands a stun and is forced to flash away basically right after. I'm not gonna lie, this game's looking a little bit on the cooked side for Crystal Scar. They are putting up a pretty decent fight, but I just don't know what their win con in this game would be. They kind of need to find like a bunch of picks here. Right, they need to get like a number of picks in a row. They do find the Leona onto the Trundle. Leona is stunning him up. Grant is here. They do have the Dragon, so I don't think the Trundle's going to get any kills here. 5 members, Pig piling him and he goes down, but they might just lose bot turret for this. Oh no, TP. Trying to save it. Probably will. It's Victor. A little bit of laser action. Silkai flashes, which is pretty surprising. Katie is on the side with the Ahri. Could potentially look for a fight. All these will miss. They always miss. On the plus side for Crystal Scar, they do have a ton of wave there. So it'll probably be pretty difficult for Targon to actually find the end, and assuming they don't end quickly enough. Crystal Scar does scale very, very well. Katie gets hit by a stun, might just get one shot. Millie out forced to be burned to try to save her. Gets hit by another Leona stun, but there's no more follow-up damage. Katie barely makes it out with her life. There's no ultimate to finish off the kill. Ornn taking a bit of a beating here from Trundle, but I really doubt he can go anywhere. I clear some waves. Targon looks like they want to set up for this Baron. If they do get the Baron buff should be their kind of way in. They have no one to tank it though, and the Baron is going to do quite a bit of damage to them. It is the full Baron, so not the highest damage Baron. Cole finally does arrive to tank, but a number of their members have already gotten quite low. Shyvana is here staring at them, so this might not be a fight they want to take. Silkai, very, very low. Redemption pop to try to heal, but it looks like they're getting forced off. Zareth now TPing in, and it looks like Crystal Scars managed to secure themselves a positioning on the Baron. A lot of members are quite low. Atomic Ghost looking for the Zareth. Hits the Cyclone perhaps? No, just forced off. Going to take a lot of damage if he dies here. His team's down a jungler. That would be horrible. Gets hit by the Leona stun. Knockup barely fails to land. He makes it out with barely any health, and Trundle's pushing the top wave. He actually forced the pop Cyclone. I think he's just dead. He's simply going to die. And they might just turn their sights on the Baron. Targon down their jungler. Every single objective that Crystal Scar loses, it gives the side, every single objective that Targon loses buys Crystal Scar more time. And every second they have of extra time to scale, they're pulling further and further up and further away. Manny now might be in a bit of trouble. He's getting chased out by 5 members. Ooh, that's not good, not good, not good. Manny's going to be dead now for Elder. We don't want to see that happen. It might be a 4v5 for this Elder fight. I don't know if Targon has the juice. They are up 4k, but they are down a member. Zareth all popped, and I don't know what the fuck he's aiming at. Grant is here, but Grant has no ultimate. Shyvana without ult, not really a champion. KT going for the pick, but hits the charm, but doesn't actually hit the Q off of it, so not quite able to one shot. Stun lands onto the Milio, and he just gets one shotted by Colonel Combo. Huge flash, shocking orb. I don't know what this is. I don't think there's anyone ever killed that. Unless Colonel Combo with a double kill snipe from downtown. The op, the 360 no scope. Colonel Combo 10-3 on the Zareth, so very, very strong, and Elder's looking very low. Atomic Ghost may try for the steal. There's 2 members zoning him off, and that's Elder for the side of Crystal Scar. And with Elder, and Drake Soul, and Baron, the roided up Crystal Scar team is going to be knocking on the base of Targon any second now. Targon is down 2 members. They have no ADC. They're spawning just now. That's one tower down. Second tower, the inhib tower, starting to take some damage. They still have Elder and Baron and Drake Soul. How do you ever fight this team? They have the 5 Ornn items. They have all of the souls. The Zerath's ult going to do so much damage if it hits a single shot. It hits one shot. Okay, never mind. Atomic Ghost taking a lot of damage. Almost gets one shot by a Zerath using a Victor laser. This Ornn ult might just do it. He tries to go in, but Elder buff is so very strong. Atomic Ghost goes down, just gets executed by Elder. Kaisa dives in, but it's not enough. KT here as well, but loses half of her health, has one more ult charge, forces Zanyas, and it's not enough. They just kill the Nexus. A phenomenal game from Crystal Scar. They were a little bit behind at some points. Katie almost turning it around in that mid game, but it's just not enough juice. They have too many objectives. They have too many Ornn items. The Zerath just too strong. Kaisa never really found that value, and I think that's what really killed them in that game. Yeah, the Kaisa did 8k damage. That is fucking criminal, by the way. I'm sorry, like, do you guys see this? Like, look at this. What the fuck? Yo, you guys see this? You guys see this number? I wish I could zoom in the stream just so you could focus on this Kaisa damage dealt number. Compare it to Colonel Combo. Colonel Combo actually did 5 times more damage than the Kaisa. Kaisa actually managed to do less damage than Leona. And Ornn. Which is thoroughly embarrassing. I did tell you that Kaisa Milio has very little synergy. And in this sense, right, because Kaisa had no engage, just kind of get blasted bot lane. Also, I would like to point out that, like, both Kaisa and Milio took exhaust. Wait, are these just bugged? I think they might just be bugged. Okay, they are. I have no idea what the fuck this is. Is this the quest? Oh yeah, this is the quest summoner. Okay, that makes sense. Oh, but they did both just take exhaust. Why did they both take exhaust against Xerath, man? That's literally so. No one had exhaust. Okay, so this is just bugged. I don't know why this shows. Oh yeah, wait. What the fuck? Victor had 2 exhausts, man. Look at that. Everyone's taking exhaust. Anyway, whatever. Oh, the double flash from Ornn. I don't know how he lost Lin. Okay, there was no exhausts happening, so it's not as fraudulent. But Kaisa did do 8k damage. So I think she might have hit champions for a total of like 2 seconds that game. I mean, Colonel Combo went pretty nuts that game. I can't even fault him, you know? That was some damn good League of Legends. Game 2. I really wonder what the plan is going forward. Colonel Combo evidently puts in like a lot of work here. Draft will start any second now. I've seen it. A birdie has told me so. We'll be right back after a quick message from our sponsors.
Wonder.
What is this clip?
They killed King's Wonder and immediately Tio built a Wonder in the opposite corner of the map.
Now going to get zoned all the way to top wave, and Icy Fusion's got to look at his mini-map here to see that maybe he should fall back. Icy Fusion needs to fall back. Icy Fusion has got to see these three members walking up to his lane. He's got to fall back.
Oh, it's big.
Wait. They get the trade.
We got a 2v4.
Oh my god, there's just no way.
And the wave is
Shit.
Icy infusion, man. Ah. I just watched the clip. What the fuck? Oh my god, Targon picked luck. I hope they lose. Jarvan Lock. What are these other clips that are being posted?
Fuck, man.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, she's pissed. I hear her yelling in the other room.
Now
Fuck
she-
you,
Dude,
I hear
I
it in the
heard you yelling.
background.
I heard you saying yay when they drafted Tutu like you were already on their team. Fuck you.
Bro, what a
She was
scam.
like, "Oh, we got
You guys-
Tutu."
You
Yeah.
could like
Okay,
barely
Chatu.
hear her. I
Okay,
don't know if you
Chatu.
guys in the
Uh-oh.
stream
I'm
could hear,
rooting for
but
Top.
No
you could
fucking
hear her like
way, bro.
barely through.
So-
Ooh,
What
Oh,
coming
the
in.
fuck, man.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, she's pissed.
Two, 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 shot two,
What
Oh,
coming in.
the fuck, man.
Oh.
I have no idea what that clip I just watched was, but unfortunate for Chatu. Who even is Chatu, man? Oh my god, there's so many creatures in this game. There's a Neela too. Neela Rel is a pretty terrifying combination. I don't know about most of you, but like, I think that Neela is an absolutely fucking disgusting character. It does so much damage. It has so much healing. It just like two shots you. If Neela ever gets to actually hit you, you just get one shotted. Jack's ban makes a lot of sense, especially if you're gonna try to pick Neela. I'd love to see like Targon just pick some targeted lockdown, because right now they don't really have a good answer to Neela when she goes in. Locke is just such a gross character, but at least it's countered a little bit by Neela. Alawi is also a pretty decent ban. Briar and Neela both kind of struggle against the Alawi champ. I'm starting to get worried about Targon, man. Please don't pick Ori. Syndra, a bit better. Ori just gets cocked on by Neela if she's ahead. I'd love to see like a little, just more hard engage. Like you just draft full Giga Bozo dive. No? Echo works. Honestly, what if you just slam like a Galio? I guess Echo's mid, so you can't pick Galio, but Galio Neela is a fucking terrifying combination. Especially against Syndra Locke, they just never touch her. Low-key, just pick Galio mid and send Echo top. We cook, sure or not. Okay, Mordekaiser's whatever. I want to see some AD or just some hard CC. Volibear's terrible. Their team actually just gets 1v9 by Neela. If she gets even remotely ahead, she just goes in, presses W, none of them can touch her, and then she just kills them all. This game does not bode too well for Targon. We are waiting on the draft or the game to actually start. I have to admit, if I look at this game, I swear to God that Crystal Scar just folds Targon. Like, unless, I assume this is Katie on lock, unless she's able to do some crazy shit, like this game's just completely over now. Like, what is their answer to Neela Rel? I mean, Katie did do pretty well in the last game, so maybe it's possible. Maybe she can find, like, an angle in this one. You know, I wouldn't count her out, but... I don't know, this entire game just feels a little bit fucked. Ah!
Sorry.
Who is up? Like, what are the teams? Or what's the score? Right now, it's 1-0 in Crystal Scar's favor, and from the looks of this draft, I think it's about to be 2-0. I'll get an early bedtime. Let's see, what is... We're 1 minute away. I really wonder, like, what is Targon's win con even? Like, I guess I can see a world, right, where, like, Jarvan goes in, Locke hits ult, and then Nami Cinder ults, just, like, one-shot Briar, Rel, and Neela, and then the game's just won. But like, that seems like such a strange way to like try to win the game, right? Because it's assuming that like Rel doesn't hit any. Like if Rel hits Nami, Syndra, or Jarvan, pulls them in, Neela pulls them again, they just all get one shot. Like actually 100-0 one shot because Neela will kill them all in 2 auto attacks. Yeah, Neela Rel is like actually blows this game wide open. Like they have no answer to Neela Rel as like the bigger issue here. Right? Like if they'd pick like I don't know, like maybe if they pick like Singed or Shen or like a Kennen or like something that like really hard deny like Gragas would be really good. Like they need something that just like completely locks Neela out of the game. Because if they do not, the game is so difficult to play. Speaking of the game, here we are. Both top laners vying for Teemo, I guess. Does Fudge count not just get blasted here? Like, what is he doing? If he ignited, he might actually have a chance of winning that fight, too. I'm not gonna lie, man. I do think Syndra could maybe scatter, but Syndra's scatter is, like, really unreliable self-peel. Because, wait, what? It's Lock ADC. Is that even a champion? Lock ADC is actually so dog shit in this game. Wait, yeah, it's not Lock mid. Okay. So the issue with playing Lock ADC, he's so the issue. No, like you don't understand. Locke literally can't proc his passive against Neela if Neela presses W. Like it's so bad. Like this, right? So he needs to auto attack in order to proc his Q stacks, right? And his E is like a spell is like a spell blade auto, like a Sheen auto, right? It's like Echo E. But Neela W is like counter strike. He literally cannot do damage to Neela. Like half of his kit is about that auto. It is double the CD, but you have to remember that Locke isn't trading on Neela on cooldown, right? Like, it's physically impossible for him to, like, go in on cooldown, so it doesn't matter. All Neela has to do is save her W for when Locke does actually find an engage window, and if Locke goes in with that engage window, he simply dies. Like, he can't play, because he doesn't do damage. And Neela does just as much damage as Locke, but she does it with every auto attack, and Locke has no CC, Nami has nothing, like it's just such a horrible lane. I cannot believe they picked themselves into this. This is like so disgusting. Exhaust used. Yeah, I mean, they can't play. Oh yeah, also, because Neela gets more XP, like the only thing that like makes Neela, like the only way, like you beat Neela by putting her behind early game, right? But Locke is literally like Neela but worse, and so he can't put her behind early game, so he just loses the game instead actually, like straight up. A return kill top. Why is it locked on the lock? I mean, Katie is accruing a substantial lead mid, and Volibear is accruing a substantial lead top. That's at least good. That's like their saving grace this game, I suppose. Oh, this is bad. She's one shot in the next trade. If Echo baits out the Syndra stun, he just one shots her. Oh, she used it. Echo should just kill her, to be honest. Crystal Scar gonna claim themselves dragon. Rel taking a decent chunk of damage. Crashdown misses. Locke going in, gets the first reset. Pondex is going very low, has no ult, has no mana for ult, I should say. Going to just die to Locke, probably, who still has E? E auto? Colonel combos. Kind of stuck in the middle of nowhere. We'll just walk back to lane. Honestly, very, very good for Targon. You want that Locke to get ahead if he wants any chance of playing the lane.
Truth hurts.
Jarvan's looking bot. They might not see him. Maybe if they do. They back up. Jarvan not able to find anything on his bot side here. I really want... I want to see Targon do more somehow. I feel like they're gonna struggle if they can't get at least a little bit more of a lead. They do have some, but it's not like a substantial lead. Not for a Chemtech game, especially. I have no more chips left to eat. Mordekaiser ult comes down. He's just gonna try to stat check Manny. Ignite popped. Volibear's trying. Mordekaiser Q goes wide, and I think that actually might be enough to kill him. Grant is here to help. Hits the ult, and I think that's Manny. Yeah. Great ult from Grant. Secures the kill for his team. Katie's so dead. I've never seen anyone more dead in my life, man. Not even the certain island dweller was more dead. She got completely blasted. I mean, Pondexus is down like 30 CS, and Colonel Combo's in quite a bit of trouble here. Gets exhausted, gets hit by the ult. Almost trades 1-for-1 with Silcal. And like, you see what I mean? Like, it's so difficult. They have like a 1v2 there, they have exhaust and ignite, and they still almost die. Colonel Combo didn't even play that perfectly, or he low-key even just trades one back anyway. Like, it's so disgusting. Is it Kai? What's Kai? Oh, Silkai? Am I not saying Silkai? I don't know, man. This guy's name is weird. Locke. Locke is ass. The character, not the player. Fudge Cow's getting kind of obliterated.
Got you.
Silkai. The Neela was just dead here, no? She doesn't have ult. She's stuck in like the middle of 4 people. Colonel Combo, kind of finds himself in the wrong neighborhood. I don't really know why he was there. He just kind of chose to be there and died. Honestly, I think there might actually be hope for the side of Targon. Because Colonel Combo's starting to look a little bit shakier on this Mila than he did on the Zareth. Pondex is now in a bit of trouble. It looks like Crystal Scar's kind of crumbling to the rotations here. They're just not really respecting the roams and like the map presence of like the Jarvan, and they're getting punished for it. Right, we saw Colonel Combo die not too long ago. Don't think you win this Fudge Cow. I think you just get blasted again. Does pop the exhaust. Manny has ultimate though. Has another chomp? No. Doesn't get it off. Just gets beaten down. Rel looking for an engage. Colonel Combo, where are you? Has ultimate still. Pulls in Katie, and Katie's probably not long for this world. Goes down to Grant. 1 for 1 on the Dragons. What is he doing here? Does he not just... Oh, I see. Never mind. Briar's on Rel's team. What is Jarvan doing? Atomic Ghost throwing his life away for the blue buff. Okay, I mean... Everyone has their own priorities, I guess. That was a little bit questionable. I personally would not have thrown my life away for blue, but to each their own. Fudge Cow is probably dead here. Grant is here to help, though Fudge Cow trying his best to stay alive. Does quite a bit of damage, healing so much. Grant kills 2, maybe. Kills 1. Atomic Ghost trying to run away. Nami ult pop. They are able to disengage Colonel Combo and hit by a bubble off the back end, but I don't think that matters. The Mordekaiser there actually stayed alive for so long and managed to do so much damage. It bought a lot of time for that Briar. Colonel Combo and Tanila ult pulls in 2. I don't know if they have the damage to kill, but that is Neela ult down. Yeah, they probably will want some heal cut. Realistically, it probably just has to be bought by Nami. I'd even argue it's probably worth it for her to just go heal cut on like her first item. As far as heal cut applicators go, like Nami is definitely like a pretty okay one, so I wouldn't complain about that, but that is a good point, Timmy. I would definitely want heal cut at some point in this game. Rel looking for Katie. Katie forced to flash away from the Rel stun. Manages to live. I don't know. I know the gold is even, but I swear this game doesn't look close. Like it doesn't feel close. Blue team picks up Colonel Combo getting hit by a stun. Katie is here, has ultimate to finish off Colonel Combo, but Fudge Cow and the Briar are both here. Katie's gonna get decimated, mauled away by Grant. It's another bad fight for Targon. I don't know why Mord has armor boots. I think Mord forgets that Volibear is an AP champion. But it's like kinda whatever. He probably does better with Mercs, but he probably does better with like not buying boots at all. True, volley QW is physical, so it's not bad. I don't think it's the worst choice. I feel like Mercs might be better, but I would agree that I think Merc treads are better, but I think you could go either option. It's justifiable, at least a little bit. Yeah. Another Drake for blue. The slow burn lost for the side of Targon. What is Pondex doing? What the fuck is this? Neela picking herself up a kill. Grant is 6-0 on this Briar. I just don't like. It's just so little going on. Like, how do you play this game if you're Targon? Atomic Ghost just has to be so dead in Death Realm, though. Is more missed everything. Okay. I guess Jarvan gets to survive. Mord flashes out. Manages to live. Jarvan EQ manages to finish off the Mordekaiser. Pondex is looking for something that has no ultimate. Going to just go down. 2 for 0. Not the worst. Targon fighting back a little bit. Grant and... oh my god. The Briar does quite a bit of damage. Locke just gets hate crimed in the bush. Katie might just be Dex. Wait, what the fuck? He barely lives. What is even happening, man? Volibear stuck in a potential 1v2. Could get hit by this stun. Forced to slash away. Pondex is going for the chase, but has to just use ult. Gets very low. Fudge Cow probably won't get in range. Volibear able to just walk it off. Silkai might be able. They might be able to kill Combo here. Combo. Oh, Silkai flashes out of the ult. Exhaust goes down. He is able to finish off Combo. Yeah, Combo's Neela really isn't as good as I think it could be. Which is good news if you're Targon. I think that the Neela being kind of ass is like really good because it gives you room to play the game. Because Briar is not that hard to deal with, right? Like we can just kite Briar, kill Briar. As long as Neela doesn't kill us all, we're good. Even though Crystal Scar is like pretty ahead, their hold on this game is a lot shakier than it would seem. Like, yes, their comp is a lot better and Briar's fed, but Briar has a lot of trouble, will probably have a lot of trouble solo carrying this enemy team. You need Neela to put in some work. Who is kiting Briar? Syndra and Nami. Like Briar runs at you, you can just like you can just EQ her, slow her with lock Qs. Volibear can just stun her, W, walk away. Like Briar has a lot of trouble just like running at people. Jarvan can also just EQ out. Like there's a lot of stuff that they can do to deny Briar from just like sitting there hitting them in the head, you know? They also have a lot of burst, which is pretty good against Briar in a lot of situations. Because if you have burst, at the very least, it forces Briar to pop E and then she can't really hit you anymore. What the fuck is going on with this mortal? What the fuck is going on? Oh, he's gone. But that was so strange. I would agree that if their entire team, they get like the Wombo combo, I think that Targon just gets folded. But what I'm saying is, like, Neela so far hasn't really been playing the fights well. Right, Cardinal combo looks pretty shaky on this Neela. And the issue with that is, if he's not able to execute the Neela, then the Neela is like a really ineffective champion. Like, you need to actually know what you're doing to get value out of the Neela. It's a little bit like Master Yi. You know, like Master Yi is like a very potent character in a lot of situations, but if you play it poorly, you just get folded. Like Colonel Combo is just gonna die for no reason here, I think, unless he gets a huge pull and his champ is broken. Okay, never mind. I still think this fight is playable for Targon, to be honest. Like, Colonel Combo just takes so much damage off the front end. Pondexus is dead. Rel's getting very low. Briar is hitting, but they can just keep Briar away. Yeah, Briar's gonna die now. Shutdown goes to Lock. Yeah. And just like that, they get like a 4-for-2 fight. You see what I mean? Like, Colonel Combo is not good at Briar. It looks like. I don't want to be that person, but he's just not good at not Briar, Neela. Because he's dying over and over and he's not able to do what he has to do in these fights, it's actually pretty playable for Targon. Because once again, you saw like Briar tried to do something, but Briar can't kill their whole team. The 1k just goes to Locke, and now Locke is 8-3 somehow. If they want to win, they kind of just need to like pray that Colonel Combo gets value at some point, which is kind of hard to imagine that he doesn't. You know, like even just like throwing shit at the wall, like it'll stick sometimes. But it is entirely possible that on like harder champions like Neela, like it just takes them like a couple fights to fall far enough behind that they can't turn it around anymore. And that's kind of the real concern here for Crystal Scar. Targon is on vision, they do see them. Briar ult lands on the rocks, so probably just gonna be the sacrifice here. Well, all pulls in two people dead, and they might have just gotten themselves caught. I think that's Baron for the side of Crystal Scar. Bit of a disaster from the Nami. It's just very unfortunate. Oh my way, they're all taking so much damage. Pondax, this is just dead, and Grant might just be dead too. Never mind. Yes, Cthulhu is dead. Goodbye, Katie. That was an amazing scatter, but they just don't have the numbers. Like, Manny's not even there, so Baron just ends up being free for Crystal Scar, and I think this probably makes it unwinnable. Like, Baron's not the biggest objective on its own, but I feel like in the context of this game, they're already, like, so... Like, the fights are already so hard to win, even with, like, Colonel Combo getting caught in the beginning, that with this, it just feels like it's just gonna be impossible. I do like that Grant died, gave a 1k, and he has another 1k. That's how ahead his team is. Oh my god. They have no wave clear, 'cause they have full AP. Against Baron. Comet Ghost. Nanny's trying to fight Pondexus. I can't imagine this fight goes anywhere. Like, Echo's gonna walk away. Does he actually die? Combo just dies to... Yeah, he just gets caught for no reason. Ghost might be in a bit of trouble, but I doubt it. I think Mordekaiser just walks away, or at least tries to... Flash. Another really good catch from Katie. Manages to stall the game a bit longer, takes down Colonel Combo, buys our teams more time to skill. Fudge Cow's dead. Rel might be there to follow. I think Rel's just dead for no reason, to be honest. What the hell is that? Volibear just teeth. Crystal Scar, throwing a little bit. Colonel Combo, not what you want to see. Soul Point Drake for both teams. Targon just simply gets the dragon. I'm really surprised that Crystal Scar didn't try to contest it. Maybe they had a couple too many dead and weren't in position. That is conceivable. how's the gold looking? Neela's only down 1k. Briar's up 4k. Katie's up 1k. Gold's honestly very even across the map, which is not too surprising because the teams are pretty close. Briar could be in a bit of trouble here if she gets collapsed. Instead, it's just gonna be Colonel Combo again in one shot. Yeah, he's just kind of throwing. Briar ult him, but he ult in the middle of 5 people. Grant's just dead. You see what I'm talking about with Colonel Combo throwing? You don't all need the recall, just send a couple, hit the tower, hit the tower, hit the tower, hit the tower, hit the tower. I don't want to be that person, but the Neela is just a bit sloppy. Gotta tighten yourself, or gotta tighten it up, Colonel Combo. Tighten up the gameplay. Crystal Scar just needs like one good fight. One good wombo fight. Hopefully Targon throws the Red Baron. Can be a quick series. It's gonna be a 5v5 at Baron. This is their chance. Colonel Combo's alive. Has flash. Briar ult. Goes in. Colonel Combo. Catches 1. Catches 2. Still Kai. Almost dead. Manages to heal a little bit. Shut down to Colonel Combo. Atomic Ghost. Forced to flash away. Manny. Very, very low. Atomic Ghost about to die. Katie trying to get here in time. Briar coming to chase down Atomic Ghost. I can't see it when he gets out. And he goes down to the Briar Baron. Secured. For Crystal Scar. That is that explosive team fight that we need to see more of from Crystal Scar if they want to win. Where they just say, we're fighting. They just pull the trigger, slap their cock on the table, and they just go for it. Because if you stall, if you let the Syndra play that slow game, just poking at you with Qs and scatters, you will lose. You will lose. You gotta make it chaos. Just blow it open. You know? What is Rel doing? Why the fuck was she going? Did Colonel Combo actually just oh my fucking god! What the fuck is this character? Hello? What? What the fuck? Yeah, guys, remember what I said about Neela being OP? Like, let's watch this back in slow motion. Like, what the fuck is this? Neela goes in E R pull Q auto boom and just kills them. Just one shots them. How broken is this champion? What the fuck? Character. Riot! Riot! Riot. What the fuck? Neela assassinating your whole team at once. It looks like Targon is looking for some kind of cheese play. They just have to kill the Neela. Like, if they don't one-shot the Neela with their, like, initial engage and she gets her ult, like, Q auto off, it's just so cooked. It is currently 1-0 in favor of Crystal Scar. And it looks like it's about to be 2-0, but it's hard to say. The game's definitely looking very rough for Targon. I don't think it's unwinnable just yet. The entire game kind of just hinges on whether Colonel Combo keeps ending. I have to expect that we'll see some kind of fight. They could be trying to catch Neela and Briar here, but I think they're gonna be on ward. Volibear getting Serpent's Fang, which sounds so awful. I don't think anything they can build will save them against the Neela, to be honest. Like, if they don't one-shot Neela, they just can't win. And now Neela has GA and she has shield bow. Like, I don't know how they ever kill this creature. Neela is like a Prion. You know, like, you can't stop them, but you just have to be thankful there aren't that many floating around. Character's broken. Potential engage, no. We don't find Neela. Could be getting caught. Briar ult lands on the Jarvan. Nami in a bit of trouble. Briar now in there. Nami just gets one-shotted by Pondexus. Neela ult goes in, pulls in the Jarvan, who tries to get away, but gets his EQ interrupted and just is one-shot. Manny is next. Gula has to try to do something. Neela taking a lot of damage. Might just go down. Pop GA. Still Kaido goes down to Pondexus, and I think it's over. Yeah. GG, guys. And just like that, Crystal Scar secures themselves a 2-0. We have 43 viewers? What the fuck? Has Booze Bash gotten more popular or something? I have 43 people watching. Well, winner interview. If anybody wants to come and tune in, come talk to us. A member of Grant team, Crystal Scar. I will wait 1 minute. Do 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 do. Someone appears to have joined, but it looks like they are muted. Perhaps they do not have speaking perms here.
Oh, there we go.
Hello,
Yeah.
hello, hello.
Hello. I've been nominated to do the interview.
Sounds great. I mean, that was a pretty good 2-0 series.
Yeah, we had we had some instances where we like had some communication issues, I think, but once we started communicating well, it was pretty clean.
Yeah, I mean, one thing that really stood out to me was that both games, you guys had like a really solid draft going into the game.
We actually prepared more this time than we have in the
Did you?
past.
Did you
We spent,
study up
yeah,
on
a
the
little
enemy
longer.
team, prepare your draft strategies and everything?
Yeah, I mean, a little bit. We normally do some, but this time we spent like twice the
Mm.
amount of time talking about it and stuff. So,
Was this like a big game for you guys? You trying to focus up or
I mean, we didn't want to get knocked out. That's the biggest thing.
um that makes sense. That makes
Yeah.
sense. And now you gotta lock in to make sure you stay in the running.
Yeah, we came off a pretty bad loss last week, so
I
it
see,
was
I
good to
see.
get
So
a
we just don't want to repeat the errors
convincing
of our
win.
past.
Yep.
I mean, it looks like it. You guys, I mean, the drafts are amazing. I have to give that to you.
Thank you.
And also just good games played by both teams overall. You know, any members of your team you want to shout out for their performance? In game, out of
Um,
game, mental teamwork. Maybe someone has a really nice face.
I think Turtle played really well.
Turtle.
He had a bunch of really good roams. And he was like always where he needed to be basically, except like once.
Yeah, the Rel was putting in work that second game
Yeah, he
especially.
was excited to play Rel. He said it's his main champion, so and she's strong this patch, so
I
yeah.
mean, that's great to hear that you managed to get your main on one of your players.
Yeah.
Great,
Yeah,
well,
Turtle MVP.
indeed, indeed. Hopefully, you guys are able to carry this momentum into next week.
Yeah, hopefully so. I think it felt really coordinated towards the mid and late game. So yeah, hopefully we can keep that up.
Yeah, I mean that momentum is it's what really matters at the end of the day, to be honest. So, as long as you're able to keep that momentum up, I think you guys will be able to hopefully win many games to come.
Hopefully, yeah.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us. I'm
Yeah,
sure
thank you
everyone
for
would love to
casting.
hear from you. Yeah, of course, always happy to.
Your
And with
casting is
that,
always next level.
thank you, thank you. I
Yeah.
appreciate it. I try my best. I think that's all for tonight, folks. Join us next time on Booze Bash. I think we have another game on Wednesday. Another, I think it's another Chemtech game. It's like Bandle City Camabor or something. Join us
Yep,
for
that's
that.
it.
Alright, see ya. Bye bye.